Troubleshooting replacing the battery pack on your Ryco scale. We had a bad battery pack. We've already removed it from the two leads that are inside the Ryco, and you have to cut it because there will be a little piece of wire cable tie in there that won't be able to put out. So you cut it, you pull it out of the little socket. When you unscrew the socket, it's a compression fitting. So there's the nut, compression nut, and a little rubber grommet that's going to squeeze the wire. So you have your new unit. The pigtails are bigger than the hole, so you have to stick them through one at a time. So we feed one through the hole. Then, now that we've got space with just a wire, we feed the second through the hole. Boom. And now we're ready to feed the wire into the unit. Oh, see? There's a mistake I made already.
It's backwards.
That's not backwards, but I forgot to put the nut on the wire first.
Ah, there we go.
So nut goes on wire first. Then feed one of the leads into the grommet, making sure you're feeding it through the fat side because the skinny side is going to go into the console fitting. Then feed the other one in. Now we're ready.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. Now we go in the hole. We stuff the grommet in that hole. And we can, without really tightening it down, we can just put our nut back on so we don't lose it. Then you've got your two leads. Those are clamp fittings in there. You won't have to back those screws out all the way. It's just going to be enough that they come out. So you will see written on the unit ground and 5-volt DC. Ground is always black. So the ground goes into the bottom one and just gets tightened up so it can't go anywhere. Doink. And then the red goes into the 5-volt DC. And on a DC instrument, this is a little bit more critical than on an AC instrument. On an AC, current's going back and forth, but because this is DC, if you wire it the wrong way, your current's going in the wrong direction through the machine. And some machines don't mind, like your flashlight doesn't actually give a crap, but this will. So once you got it hooked together with your battery pack on, and this is also a way to troubleshoot whether or not your battery pack has gone bad. When you open the back of the instrument, you have a voltage meter. You should be getting 5 volts with red on red and black on black. And we're getting 4.81, which is pretty good. The batteries themselves are essentially 4.5 volt batteries. You've got 4 of them in series, so you'll get about 17 volts if you stack your batteries end to end. There's a little voltage regulator in there that only lets 5 volts through. So it appears that what the major problem was is that voltage regulator went bad after the switch went bad, and it was only letting half of a volt through there. I don't know where it tanks, but it's much lower than half a volt.
Talk about the battery springs.
Oh yes, so we also have a problem with the new unit not functioning very well. Your battery springs are making contact. The new unit, the battery springs were completely crushed. This one's actually spring steel, so they're not crushed, and I can't even make them crush, which is the way spring steel is supposed to work. But if they're all smooshed down, you won't get good contact. Just grab them, pull them back up until they're, looks like close to a centimeter, maybe 8 millimeters. The other thing you will potentially notice is that in your battery pack, it tells you which way the batteries go, positive and negative. It's on a piece of paper. If the paper gets wet, you can no longer tell which one's positive, which one's negative.
Let's see if our unit screen is turned on now.
Now, our unit screen should be on because we've got 5 volts. And what do you know? It's on.
Yay.
And our switch actually works, so we can turn it off.
Yay.
And it'd be embarrassing if it doesn't come back on, and on. So we're troubleshot.
All right.
For another 10 days, push with the
Down on the
$8
scale.
Park dice.
Push down hard on the scale.
Push down hard on the scale?
That scale.
On the scale.
Yeah.
On that scale base.
Yeah, it works.
We got readings. Am I getting heavy?
Yeah. Yeah, we got it.
There we go. So it is fixed.
Yay, we did it.
You'll go out to sea with 7 boxes of battery packs to get you through the season. In the meantime, we're probably going to caulk the heck out of that end.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't have a fitting.
That's right.
And then the last thing here that we'll have.
Yeah, let's zoom in on that.
Is we'll have to tighten that nut down.
No fitting on that end. And that knob is not waterproof at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, cover this thing in plastic. It is definitely not waterproof. But it's a simple fix, so long as the main unit doesn't get corroded.
And again, to finish, because we just fed that in there, we're going to have to crank that nut down So the little rubber grommet truly grips the wire, because that's the waterproof there.
All right.
Ratchet wrench would be easier, but you get the point. You'll tighten it down, it'll grip, and you'll be ready to go.
Thank you, Tim.